Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 4th episode of Planet Evrima, a nature documentary here in Isla Spiro. Over these next 2 months, we will be exploring the natural biomes and inhabitants of this island, and taking some time for each species as we continue to celebrate the Dino Weeks event. If you guys enjoy this Planet Evrima series, please consider subscribing to help out the channel, as it goes a long way to helping our naturalists and photographers out here in the field. Today, we continue Stegosaurus Week and explore the life of the large, thagomizer-wielding stegosaurus. Enjoy. Welcome back to Isla Spiro, a tropical island full of prehistoric beasts, large and small. Out here in the open plains, we can see a large group of herbaceous dinosaurs, grazing to their heart's content under the heat of the midday sun. Herbivores here in Isla Spiro have found that banding together in herds of multiple species can help increase their survival chances. So, Stegosaurus, Tenontosaurus, Dryosaurus, and even Hypsilophodons can often be found grouped together in the open grasslands of the island. Today, however, our story focuses on the largest of these herbivores, the Stegosaurus. These massive creatures are best known for their armor plates that adorn their back and tail, and of course their impressive weapon of choice, a thagomizer. Scientists believe that the thagomizer's main purpose was for defense against predators, but their plates along their back may have held multiple purposes. For starters, having large plates along their back definitely helps defend against bites from larger predators, but they could also have been used in mating displays or even as a way to help thermoregulate their body temperatures. Stegosauruses were primarily active in the late Jurassic era, and their size ranged anywhere from 20 to 30 feet long, or 9 meters, and they boasted an impressive 7 tons of weight. Here on Isla Spiro, they are currently the largest creature around, and that is a fact that these creatures use to their advantage well. The herd mentality offers much for these creatures. While the Tenontosaurus can help scout for new grazing lands, and the Dryosaurus can help be lookouts for potential predators, it is the Stegosaurus that is the heart of the herd, and they act as protectors and defenders against those predators. Predators who have seemed to have found our herd. This is a Carnotaurus, a large, carnivorous dinosaur who seems to be looking to make a meal out of one of our herd members. From the jungle shadows, it watches and waits for an opening. A Dryo, however, fulfills his role as lookout and sounds an alarm call, prompting the herd to go into full defensive mode. These creatures are very protective of their young, and thus they form a protective barrier from the smallest and weakest members of their herd. This Carno, however, seems not to care who it hunts. Perhaps the trials of life on Isla Spiro have pushed him into a point of starvation, meaning he is willing to risk injury to get a meal, and thus he charges. In the chaos of battle, it seems the Carno has managed to separate a mother, father, and their young hatchling daughter. Noticing the isolated trio, the Carno moves in to claim his own. mother did her job well, and her sacrifice was allowing the small, young hatchling to escape. While the Carno could pursue the baby for an easy meal, the carcass of the mother stego will be sufficient enough for this carnivore. The problem for this lost hatchling, however, has just started to begin. The chaos seemed to have separated her from the rest of the herd. But unfortunately, the herd has no idea that the baby survived. Alone and afraid, the hatchling retreats into the forest. A few days later, and our little hatchling has found a safe cave to call her own. Here, she manages to graze off of ferns and foliage of the surrounding jungle. Not as nutritious for her as the grass of the open plains, but it will do for now. As she settles down to rest, however, another situation seems to be imminent. Another Carno. This time, however, it seems to be another abandoned juvenile. Perhaps this juvenile's parents also fell victim to some of the island's more terrifying members. This juvenile Carno seems ravished and starving for some food. The juvie Carno makes its move and surprises our stego, but luckily the cave makes for a fantastic shelter and the stego can easily protect its head by using the walls. The older Carno may not have made this mistake, but our younger Carno decides to go for prey, regardless of the threat from the Thagamizer. With one quick swipe, it drops. Critical mistake for the young predator. Our hatchling, still alone and afraid, knows that this place is no longer safe for it to shelter in. Many other predators will smell the corpse and make their way here, so reluctantly, she treks off. A bit further away, however, and our young female hears a promising sound. A hypsilophodon call. Eager to find another herbivore, instinctually, she responds. Quickly, the Hypsy pops its head out from under the ferns. The Hypsy was not alone, however. It seems that a Dryo is also hanging out. These two smaller dinosaurs seem not to be in a herd of their own. A curious thing to see in nature for sure, but life and death of herdmates can often cause animals to wander the island alone. It seems, however, that these two have formed a close bond and kinship with each other. With friendly, happy calls, both Dryo and Hypsy have seemed to accept this one into their small, odd herd. Together, the three head off back into the forest. Life for these three is quite unique, but their combined abilities prove to be enough for each of them for their safety to be adequate. Life for these three is quite unique, but their combined abilities prove to be enough for each of their safety to be adequate. Our young female stego grows quickly too, and very soon enough, she reaches a size that doubles even her Dryo friend. Life out here in Isla Spiro, however, is not safe, and our stegosaurus knows this well. It's not long before another trial is laid out in front of her. One day, as the trio is hanging out on what they call Temple Rock, another predator finds them. This time, it's a lone Utah raptor, likely scouting for its pack. The Utah would usually back off and contact its pack, but since these three herbivores are young and small, it makes a risk and pounces at the Hypsy. Too quick for the Utah, the Hypsy manages to dodge the attack, and now the Utah has lost its opportunity of surprise. Determined not to lose another herdmate like she lost her mother, our stego uses her size well. Her large size is large enough to make the Utah second-guess the situation, and after fully sizing up the stegosaurus, makes the decision to retreat. A little herd may be quirky and different, but each of their skills help them survive and grow. As the years roll on, our female stego grows and grows, until eventually she has reached full maturity. Fully grown now, our female stego seems to tower over her friends, even though she is technically the youngest of the three. Her size, however, has been a huge benefit to the survival of this little herd. Having fended off Utahs and smaller Carnos throughout their lives, the three can now peacefully and safely forage the plains of Isla Spiro to their heart's content. Our female's heart, though, it seems, is not actually fully content. Instinct drives her to find a mate, and to form her own herd full of many stegosauruses. Since the tragic day of losing her mother, she has yet to see another stegosaurus, and while the company of our Hypsy and Dryo have been a wonderful addition to her life, she desires more. To her amazement and excitement, however, she hears it. The the call of a male stegosaurus looking for a mate. Ecstatic, she sprints off in its direction. The Hypsi and Dryos seem to look at each other with worry that this may mean they lose their friend and protection. Rushing through the fields, our Stego is determined to find what she has been desiring and looking for, and once she breaks into the next plains clearing, she sees him. The two Stegosaurus make friendly calls and seem to be true love at first sight. But as the male starts to walk away and beckons her to follow, she hesitates. Life with him is what she desires to build up a herd of her own, but she cannot forget the friendship of her Hypsi and Dryo friend. With a large, bellowing roar, she calls out to her old herd mates, clearly asking for them in return. The two little herbivores hear what they were hoping to and rush off to rejoin their Stego friend. It seems that while our Stego wishes for a promising future, she cannot see one without her odd herd of three. With a snort, it seems our male Stego accepts the odd group that he has become a part of. Happy and fulfilled, the little odd herd that survived many trials of Isla Spiro can finally rest well, knowing that they have a promising future ahead of them. I want to thank you all for watching this episode of Planet Evrima. This one was a blast to record, as I had help from some of you whose names are on the screen now. It really was nice meeting you folks, and your acting turned out great. I hope you all liked this episode, and there is more of Planet Evrima to come, so subscribe if you're interested in seeing more. But that's it from me, everybody. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.